We are coming to you live from Nairobi. Let's do this. So access to key goods and services is getting easier as companies find ways of adapting to and overcoming the challenges posed by COVID-19. This is according to the Purchasing Managers Index (PMI) published by Stanbic Bank. The future, however, remains shaky owing to an uncertain economic recovery from human resource to manufacturing and even tendering. Kenya's outlook averages at 51.1 in August. Let's give you more detail on the same, starting you off with the very basics. So let's understand, what is a PMI? So a PMI is a measure of the prevailing direction of economic trends. There you have it up on your screen. So let's just give you the highlights, the key highlights of what has been happening in the economy in the last 6 months, because that is the period it takes to compute a PMI on a monthly basis. So let's take a look at them. Now, business conditions improved from for a fourth straight month up till August. Earlier on, it was a bit shaky. Of course, those digits were reading somewhere between 49.6, 49.9 towards July, where it stabilized to around 50.6, and then now it's coming out 51.1, which is now what we have really on reported in August. We are yet to see how the PMI will read from now September into the rest of the 6 months. Firms saw a faster growth, of course, that is aided by a stabilizing economy, which still remains shaky. Job creation also strengthened, but output rose at the slowest rate in 4 months. In August, the headline PMI picked up to 51.1 rather, from 50.6 in July. Those numbers that already, alluded to them earlier on. And then let's look at more. So job creation also strengthened, but output rose at the slowest rate in 4 months. In August, the headline PMI peaked to 51.1 from 50.6 in July to remain above the 50.0, which is actually the threshold, neutral mark. We're going to show you how other countries are also performing in terms of regional segmentation. And of course, the inference is that the improvement was marginal. Look, for you to survive the threshold of the PMI, which is capped at 50.0, it means we are merely surviving at 51.1. So taxation, of course, raised purchasing costs higher. Let's give you more figures on the same. Now, roughly 15. Of course, now this one we are now going industry specific. So quantity purchase index. Roughly 15% of survey panelists stated an increase in buying activity, whereas 10% posted a decline. Let's give you more on suppliers delivery index. Kenyan suppliers continued to make faster deliveries in August, as highlighted by the seasonally adjusted suppliers delivery times index, posting above the no change to the 50.0 level. I think if we could read a little more into this data here, part of it was contributed to largely by the fact that, of course, the country was now opening up, the lockdowns were now being eased, and of course, opening up of the counties for the flow of goods and services into different parts of the country. That is why the suppliers delivery index improved with quite a bit of margin. Let's give you more industry-specific indices. So continued, we are talking about staff costs, and this is pegged closely with company overheads, because PMI really is computed against the manufacturing rate and delivery of other services in the economy. So the staff cost index, which is a big part of any organization's, cost effectiveness, also improved. Let's give you the international, what is happening on the international scene. Now, earlier on, I had told you that PMI is computed, a PMI that is above 50 plus 1, that is a positive one. Anything 49 and below shows a red. So countries which are performing good, United States is at 59.9, Brazil 55.2, the Great Britain is at 59.2, Europe zone. Of course, we're talking about other countries in the European scene, 60.2. Russia, we missed the digits a bit, but they were reading at around 56 thereabout. Let's now show you countries that are in the red. Japan, 48.8. Australia is at 45.2, and of course India is at 49.2. Those are some of the figures right there by the Stanbic Purchasing Managers Index, which is really just a measure of the prevailing direction of the economy and economic trends in the country. Let's give you more of the stories that we had for you today. So now that you are up to date with how the economy is performing.